There we go. All right, so this is a quick demo for how to mix your colors for the color wheel. Okay, it's a 24-step, follow along with me with the handout, please. 24-step Holbein acrylic gouache color wheel assignment. The color goals, the saturation and value, honestly, I'm going to skip that now. We'll talk about that next week during the lecture. All I want to do is focus on the painting today. This assignment, as it says here on the handout, has 3 parts: painting, editing, and assembly, in that order. All we're going to do today is start with the painting. What you're going to do is start with primary yellow, which is right here, okay, and gradually work your way around the color wheel that I showed you guys earlier. Unfortunately, I can't do it at the same time. I can't show you the projection without plugging this thing in. However, you're going to start with primary yellow and gradually work your way around clockwise, which means you're going to go from warm to cool and back up again. You're going to add orange, okay, to the yellow until you get to orange out of the tube. Then stop using the primary yellow and start adding pure red to the orange until you get to pure red out of the tube. Stop using orange, start adding rose violet, etc., etc. You are never using more than 2 colors at a time. And they are always the colors that are next to one another on the second page. So you're only going to mix primary yellow with orange, then orange with pure red, that's with the little arrow, and then pure red to rose violet with violet, violet with cobalt blue, cobalt with turquoise, turquoise to green, and green back to primary yellow again. Okay. In that range, with those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors, because primary yellow is listed twice. 8 colors, 120 swatches. Okay. There is a template that you will use to cut out your swatches the way I showed you in some of the examples before. Hopefully you will be more successful than a couple of the people who did it before. So, as it says here at the bottom, this is going to take you from the warm cools to through the cool colors, and we'll talk about that next week too. But for now, I just want you to paint all 120 swatches. Never mix more than 2 colors at a time, and paint 1 swatch of each color out of the tube just so you have a reference, like for where you stopped. So this should take you about 100 to 120 swatches. Like the grayscale, the more swatches you have, the better off you are, all right? But at least 100, preferably 120. Bullies and wimps are important because now we're dealing with more than 1 color. We're not dealing with black and white. Black and white, black was the bully, white was the wimp, okay? A little black went a long way. Chemically, it's a stronger color. In color, there are similar relationships. Pure red, orange, and green are the bullies. They have very strong pigment and chemical content. The wimps are primary yellow with rose violet. The problem you guys have is that primary yellow always has to be mixed with, which is one of the biggest wimps, always has to be mixed with orange or green, who are 2 of the strongest bullies. And when I say bullies, this is what I mean, okay? Now, first of all, it's the same paper, right? You're still using the same stuff, right? Bristol. You're still mixing on a paper palette. You're still using your palette knife to mix the paint. You're still using this brush to paint it. You do not have to measure off this thing with a ruler because the measurements are not that precise. Shut up, stupid thing. All you need to do is paint something, and I'll show you about how big. Because as you see from the template, the swatches aren't that big. They're like this big, right? They're small. So basically, you know, a couple of brush strokes, you're covered, all right? And you don't need to have a hard edge because you're going to be cutting each of the swatches out individually anyway. So you don't have to worry about, okay, there has to be a straight edge with a ruler and an X-Acto knife. I don't care, right? They just have to be about this big. Don't have to measure them, but start with yellow and add orange. Now when I say bully, this is what I'm talking about. Here's the yellow, okay, and here's the orange. And it's like I showed you guys with the black, if you recall, back in the day. So if I take your palette knife and take orange, okay, orange, it's like yikes, okay? It gets really orange really fast, okay? That is way more orange than you want the first yellow orange to be, all right? So you're mixing it like this. Same rules as the grayscale. No water added to the paint, which means, like we did before, clean your palette knife, okay? Dampen the brush, then squeeze all the water out of it. Remember this? Like, get all the water out. Squeeze hard. Get it all out, okay? Beautiful brush. Move this guy out of the way. So here we go. And again, keep it vertical. Same rules. No water. Load the paint up on either side of the brush. Keep the brush fairly vertical. Get it down quick. Doesn't have to be big. That's as big as it has to be. So don't worry about it. Get it down quick. Same thing. Get it down. Smooth it out. One direction, all the way across. Couple of strokes. Maybe 2 more just because I like doing it. Okay? Really. Done. Okay, next. More orange. Now I want some more yellow too. Watch me do it with one hand.
Oh, shit.
I know, it's amazing. I've done this before. Oh. I know it's hard to believe, but true. Okay. How do I compare them? I use the back of the palette knife. Is that more orange? It is. It's frankly way too more orange, but who cares? Again, like the grayscale, it doesn't matter what order these are in because you're just going to edit them later. You know, so it doesn't matter if it goes orange, then it gets yellow, then it gets red. I don't care, okay? As long as you have about 120, you should be good to go. Back in the water. I don't care if I clean this because it's still a yellow-orange. I don't have to worry about that till I change colors. Next, this big. Fine, right? Both sides, smooth it slowly. The thing is, a lot of these colors are transparent, so you don't want to be aggressive because I can see the brush strokes and I can see through it. So again, get the color down, smooth it out gently, one direction, don't overwork it, not too many brush strokes, stop, okay? Keep going. I haven't even done yellow yet, so yellow's easy, like the white and black, yellow out of the tube, and I've got a bad feeling I'm going to do that, and water's going to go all over that phone. Please put that over there. Thank you. That would just ruin my, like, we're so close to the end. It's like that would ruin my entire life if I got paint all over my phone. Okay, and then you just keep going. Get the water off the palette knife. No more water, right? I'm accelerating things. Okay. A little more orange. And actually, I'm painting so fast, I'm not worried about leaving the brush out. Now, that might not be enough paint, but fuck it. Really, it's like, you know, and you know what, it's not. Oh, well. Oh, well, not enough paint, so what do? I paint it anyway. Really, it's like no big deal. Go back in, mix more paint. That actually might work, you know? These are tiny swatches, right? So that might work. I would prefer it gives you a greater margin of error if you're working with a larger swatch. This is adequate. It's pushing your luck. Go with something a little bit bigger. But it's basically just a few strokes with your brush. You don't have to measure it. Okay? Clean it. I'm going to show you now yellow and green because that's the other bully thing. Okay? Now I am going to clean it because I don't want orange in with the green. I'll get a camo kind of brown. If you guys are painting trees for Sam Mitchlap's class, I don't know what he's going to tell you, but normally if you want to get a good desaturated green for trees, orange and green are a nice mix. Here's the green. Be careful. Bully color. So evil. It's a little cool. It's like, it's not a green like that green. It's not a green like, of course, when I need one, there isn't one. I'm not wearing one. Anyway. But again, be careful. Like, a little goes a long way. A little bit of green. Right? Yikes. Okay, green's the worst. Not only, okay, I want to stress this because you guys are going to start going yellow through orange. When you get to the end, okay, the yellow and orange, it's a little bit streaky, okay? The first part of the color wheel is tricky. That's why I start with this demo. The middle part is pretty easy. Not easy, but the colors are not streaky and they are not transparent and there's no bully or wimp thing going on. once you get past red and rose violet. Once you get into the rose violet to blue to blue, everything's so happy down here, and everyone loves cool colors like, ooh, blue green, ooh, blue violet, ooh, yay. Okay, you're gonna be so content, and you're gonna think that you're rock stars, because like, oh, I was kind of rough here, and I'm getting better, and I'm getting better, and I'm getting better. You know what? You're not. Okay? The paint is doing the job for you. Once you get into yellow-green, you are just going to rue the day you were born, because it's so horrible. It's so streaky. More paper towels, anybody? I need. Give me a bunch. So, because not only is it a bully wimp thing, and you have to measure carefully, it's incredibly streaky and incredibly transparent. So you've got to be really patient with these guys. Okay. Oh my God, look at that. What a horrible disaster. Oh my God.
You have to change the water too, eventually?
Of course you do. God, Victoria. Yeah. I know there's no such thing as a stupid question, except that one. No, just kidding. Okay, but this is super streaky, okay? Watch. Oh, so horrible. Like, oh my God, right? Ah, okay. Because it just is. It's chemistry. Chemistry for you.
Like an hour, does it fix that?
You use a lot of paint, okay, and really like smooth, gentle, slow, like this. Super. Look at the brush. How much pressure am I exerting? The answer would be none. Okay, I'm just dragging it gently, and it's still a little bit streaky. But you know, if you use enough paint and you're gentle and patient, you're fine. Okay. Now, the thing you will